What's good, YouTube? Because Kobe here. So, we're gonna do a request from Kevin to start the night out. We're getting into some more Inxs for you guys. This is a song called Viking Juice. That's an interesting name for a song. The album name is Full Moon Dirty Hearts. I like that. That's a cool album name. That's a really nice album name. That's a great selection of word combination there. Sounds like that's a meaningful album. That sounds like it's probably got some deep topics on it. I imagine with the title like Viking Juice, it's going to throw you off because there's probably going to be some kind of deepness because Michael always came with that deepness inside of his lyricism. Very, very much so. It was either rock and roll, balls to the wall rock and roll, or it was a deepness on a love and emotional level. So I imagine that the title Viking Juice is not going to completely apply to what this song's going to be about. Kevin, thank you for your request. I like Inxs a whole lot. We've enjoyed them on the channel so far. If you're new here, go ahead, hit that subscribe for me. We talk about mental health, addiction, world issues, everything in between. Break down all the lyrics. I like going the whole 9 yards on busting those down for you guys. We'd have a lot of awesome conversations on here. You never know what topic we're going to get into on here. There's so much that we have discussed, and it's great to get on here and do this with you guys. We've built an awesome community here where we can be here for each other and provide inspiration to each other, and it means the world to me that we're able to do that we have a platform that we're able to do that on. It's a blessing to be here in the first place because of my addiction struggles. You guys know that have been here for a while. Those of you that are new, now you know. I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I like to push the message to go get help if you are struggling with those things, because you can live a better life on the other side, and then you can inspire other people to go do the same thing as well. You can get out there and talk to people and put your own story out there and let people see that it is possible to get better. And also, we have sound tonight. That was a technical error last night on my part, so my bad. Your boy be fucking things up sometimes. You guys know how it is on here. So that was my bad last night. Sorry about that, but we will have sound tonight. We're all good for tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Kevin, thanks for your requests, man. We're going to get into it for you. Because of Kobe. A reaction video a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck those apples. We got Inxs with some Viking juice.
If this was easy, where would I be? I done said I have all the answers. How could anyone? Can't stop looking at the lights all around my head. I'm missing the darker side of man.
This music video is electric, though. This is a strange music video, very fitting for Inxs, though. I don't expect anything but some wild visuals like this from them. I like the music video. It's got a really just like all over the place kind of vibe to it, kind of like those lost footage kind of YouTube videos that you'll see that are like mystery videos where everyone's like, what the hell is this video about? Where did it come from? It's got that kind of vibe with the way they put the cut scenes and everything into it. I like that. I like the vibe. His voice on this one, he went with like some really horror-esque style vocals here with that deep gravelly tone, talking it almost more than singing it, almost like he's having a conversation of reflectivity with somebody. That's how he's approaching his cadence on it. It's very conversational. I like that. The lyrics are deep, just as I thought they would be. I knew that Viking Juice was a throw-off title, right? If this was easy, where would I be? I haven't said I have all the answers. How could anyone? That is a brilliant question to start a song off with right there. and that tells you the tone of where it's going. That sets the tone perfectly for the rest of the lyrics he's gonna say here. Very nice introduction section there. I haven't said I have all the answers. How could anyone? Can't stop looking at the lights all around my head. I'm missing the darker side of the man. Ooh. Can't stop looking at the lights all around my head. I'm missing the darker side of the man. Ooh, is he saying he misses his shadow? Is that what he's talking about? He says, sometimes I miss the darker side of the man. Wow. Yeah, that's a weird thing that you go through when you've been through a lot in life. Sometimes you reminisce on the bad times, and it's really fucking strange when you do, because you're like, why the hell does my brain compute it like that from time to time, right? And I think that happens to everybody. Not that you're thinking about going back to it, but it's almost like you miss when shit was crazy sometimes, almost out of boredom. I think that's kind of like what he's talking about here. Can't stop looking at the lights all around my head. He's saying the lights all around my head could be saying like the lights on the stage that he sees when he's performing, and where he is in life now as like an international superstar, where he was at that point of his life. And then saying, I'm missing the darker side of the man. Maybe he's missing the times before the fame and shit like that, which is a very common thing. I think it takes a lot to have longevity and to like bear your mental through that and shit when there's the whole world looking at you and you're like, work. The thing about like once you get big as an artist and stuff like that, that a lot of them will say, I heard a specific artist that said this was way back in the Slim Shady days during the recordings of the Slim Shady LP and stuff. They did like a behind the scenes with Eminem, and he said what he said is, when I wanted to be a rapper, I thought it was just gonna be like parties and wilding and bitches and drugs and all this, all that you think about whenever back in those days, especially, you were going to become a rapper or become like a superstar of some kind. Eminem was saying that's how he imagined it. He says, but once I got here, it's just like I work 7 days a week all fucking day, and I go home and then I hang out with my kid. He's like, and then I come back to the studio, or I go do an interview, or we go do a pop up, or I have to go do a show, or I'm going on tour. I think that's kind of like what this might be talking about right here. Is thinking that it was going to be something different than it was, and then missing the darker side of the man, because you would consider yourself to be in your dark period before you were successful and everything. But then once you get there, sometimes you're missing that darker side of it. Wow, that's how I take it. That's really deep. Very few words and a big message there. I had to bring that Eminem behind the scenes up because I watched that recently, and this made me think of that when I got on to that missing before all the lights were shining on you and stuff like that. I think that's what this is kind of about, but we'll see as it gets deeper into this if that actually is what he's alluding to here. I like the tone of his voice, I like the lyrics, and I love the video.
He's on his knees looking for the dog, but everybody's giving him applause. Crash the car.
Okay, I got you. They're dressing up like clowns is what it looks like, and they're getting ready for that stage show, like a very classy kind of setup to it, with the female all dolled up the way that she was in that classic kind of clothing, right? Very classic clothing there. That's like old times kind of stuff. I see what's going on here with the video now. He's getting himself all painted up, he's putting on the facade, almost is what I think the video represents, is putting on the face for the lights to hit you, right?
But everybody's coming from the wall. It's called the end of rock and roll.
Wow. Man. hold on. These lyrics.
These days are numbered, counting out the dust.
Wow.
Faith and spirit walking hand in hand.
This is really deep, dude. This just got really real on this lyric sheet right here. Kevin, I understand why you wanted me to get a hold of this one. You guys know I love the short and sweet ones that open up a door for massive kind of conversation. Wow. I love the short and sweet lyrics, but it's so meaningful. This video is amazing. I love the theme of the video. It's a very well thought out theme in the video. The band sounds awesome. I love the little horn section we got going on back there. And then we've also got a really groovy kind of vibe going on with the music. The drums are nice. I like that snare pop. Nice snare sound going on in this. It's almost like similar to a trash can lid with the level up. Like, there's like a certain damper on the pop that isn't quite as snary as usual. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I like that. Said he's on his knees looking for the door, but everybody's giving him applause. Exactly. He's looking for a door into a different place now that he's gotten to where he was trying to go through in the first door, right? But everybody's applauding like it's so great. You know, that's what he's getting at. Like, it's so great though. Everybody's applauding. It's a great time. But he's looking at the door on his knees. Crashed the car into a wall, but everybody's calling for more. That is a bar. That's a good bar right there. He's saying I crashed the whole fucking whip. The ride has hit a wall for me. That's what he's saying. This ride that we are on, I have slammed into a brick fucking wall. But everybody's calling for more. That could be talking about writer's block and coming up with new ideas as well. Struggling to one-up yourself on the next thing that you do after your last hit and everything like that. The pressures of continuing to impress and continuing to put out good content that people want to listen to music-wise. I think that's kind of what he's talking about there as well. It's called the end of rock and roll. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, it's called the end of rock and roll because he's feeling as if he's crashed into the wall with himself and isn't sure what to do next. And the heavy lifestyle, the party lifestyle, and the way that it is in the industry, especially back in those days, it was wild. Back in the 90s and the 80s days, it was wild times, man. He said these days are numbered, counted out in loss. Faith and spirit walking hand in hand. Wow. He's saying, I know that this isn't gonna probably last forever. That's what he was saying there. Like a lot of people have their moments and then it just kind of fades away and then they do their thing, you know, outside of the major limelight. But Inxs was one of those groups that was they were caught in the limelight. Like, there was no escape. They were winning awards with pretty much a lot of the things that they did. From what I've researched on them, they're very revered, and it didn't even end for them after Michael was no longer with us. The band still continued to work with other artists and pump out amazing content. So the Inxs journey didn't have that effect, but this was him predicting that was it for him, which, as we see, especially with the way it happened, right? It's almost like he predicted that about himself. He was reflecting on it all, knowing that it seemed numbered to him. Oh, wow, this is a... 1993, that's really, hold on. Is that when this came out? 93, right? Hold on. Alright, let me do something real quick. I'm pretty sure this is very not far. Let's see. 1997, yeah. Not too far removed from when the actual passing occurred. Wow. Yeah. This man was talking in subliminals right here. Oh, wow. That is wild. This just took a whole turn. I told you guys. I told you. Inxs is different, man.
To me, a wall made a sound. But where does that sound find a place today? Maybe we came to the wrong show. It seems to fraud.
I think it's a drag show. I think that's what it is. Which is fucking wild. That's fucking wild. Like back in those days, that stuff was actually, I would say, more accepted back in those days because the agenda didn't exist then. You guys know what I mean. Wow. I see. It's also about embracing both sides of your personality. The darker side of the man also representing the drag in the video is representative of the emotional spectrum of being a man as well. And that's deep as fuck. That is wildly deep. I never thought I would see somebody apply this kind of thing to this kind of message right here. But it really, really makes a lot of sense. That adds up. And I appreciate the message when it's delivered in this fashion versus fucking whatever it is that we have today. No offense to anybody. You guys know I love everybody and I appreciate people for who they are. So no offense to anybody there, but it is wildly out of pocket nowadays with the way the agendas and the news and mainstream treats it and everything. Wildly out of pocket. And I'll just leave it at that with that one.
It's called the end of rock and roll. Oh, shadow, take me, leave nothing still. 'Cause I've not seen a miracle. How could anyone? We ask too much of the sun to come and save our souls. And all it's trying to do now is save its own.
See, that's when it was funny and good. Like I said, back in those days, it was a different climate. See, they'd be making fun of themselves. Like, oh God, I love it. I fucking love that. See, that's how it needs to be. You guys know. Oh man, I was not anticipating to start the night out like this. Kevin. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with y'all, man. Y'all are too much. So we got, these days are numbered, counted out in lost faith and spirit, walking hand in hand. These lyrics are ridiculously deep. To meet a wall made of sound. But where does that sound find a place today? The wall, I told you he was talking about writer's block and coming up with new ideas and shit. And he said the wall I'm crashing into to meet a wall made of sound. But where does that sound find a place today? How do I stay relevant? That's what he's saying. Oh my goodness. This is brilliantly written. This is very subliminally written. You gotta really dive into these lyrics and appreciate them, man. This is wonderfully, wonderfully crafted right here. The music video is fantastic. This is one of the funniest, fucking greatest music videos, but serious at the same time. That bitch and queer was funny, right? Don't cancel me, YouTube. Just quoting the video. That's fucking epic right there. I love the video. I appreciate the video. Maybe we came to the wrong show. I've seen this before, he said. Maybe you did, or maybe you ended up exactly where you wanted to. Just own it. It's called the end of rock and roll, he says. That's because you're going into the land of fucking disco and clubbing, man. That's why. All jokes aside, this is a brilliantly written and serious song, though. This is very, very well written and serious, and I love that. Oh, Shadow. See, I told you. He was talking about embracing his shadow. And shadow also representing the nightlife as well. He said, "Oh, shadow, take me, leave nothing still. Leave nothing still, make everything move. 'Cause I've not seen the miracle, how could anyone?" Wow, he's saying, with all of this that I've done in my life, and all of this that I've accomplished in this, I have not seen the miracle, how could anyone? Almost reflecting on the state of the world around him, right? Saying, how could anyone see the miracle in this? And this is aimed at the industry too. He said, "We ask too much of the song to come and save our souls, when all it's trying to do now is save its own." Holy shit. These are some of the deepest lyrics we've ever covered on the channel. I don't expect anything less from Inxs. This is one of my favorite songs we've done by them. It's very different than anything else that we've done by them, but I love the lyrics. He's saying, "We ask too much of the song to come and save our souls, when all it's trying to do now is save its own." He's saying people will rely on music to influence their life and save them from themselves, as music is a very healing and saving thing, right? That's what he's kind of alluding to there, I do believe. When all it's trying to do now is save its own. He's saying, I'm trying to save myself, and I'm the one that wrote it. I think that's what he's saying there. Man, this hits fucking hard when you look at it in hindsight. With what happened with him and everything. Oh my god, bro. This is actually a rough one, man. Maybe we came to the wrong show. I've seen this before. It's called The End of Rock and Roll. So it's kind of like a double when you look at the video. It's kind of like alluding to being at the wrong show, because Inxs would have been known for partying with a lot of girls and mingling with a lot of girls and stuff like that. So what's in this video is not where you would expect these guys to generally probably end up. And he's played off of that by saying, by the video being representative like that, and the lyrics being representative of how he feels like he's lost himself inside of his career and wishes he could go back to when things were dark and he wasn't in the light. And that is fucking dark. You were in the dark, buddy, when you wrote this one. I mean, Lord. Wow. This is a special one, because of how personal it actually is when you dig into it. This is a very, very different side right here.
show. It's seen this before. Maybe we came to the wrong show. I've seen this before. It's called The End of Rock and Roll.
I love the bass guitar. That bass is going crazy.
It's called The End of Rock and Roll.
My word. My word. Shit like this is wild. Fucking Post Malone popping up. That's a good song. Rockstar is a fun song. Very nice song for a club or a public scenario where people are hanging out and want to dance. Post Malone's a beast. You guys know I fuck with Post Malone a whole lot. I've said that before on the channel. I think he's a very talented artist. But these guys right here killed it with this song. This was a very fantastically done song right here. I really, really enjoy songs like this a whole lot. Songs like this are meaningful. There's so much subliminal messaging going on inside of the lyrics that when you pick them apart, you realize he's talking about. He's looking at himself from an outside perspective. Really, is what this is. Is so reflective and so thoughtful of where he's ended up and how sometimes he realizes that that was never even the answer, even though he thought it was. It's the end of rock and roll in some scenarios. It, maybe he came to the wrong show. I've seen this before. But the music video just makes it funny when you think about those bars because it applies to the music video, saying that they had like that rock star shtick going on, or they were definitely partying with a lot of girls probably, and always getting the ladies and stuff. You know, Michael Hutchence was known for that, certainly well known for that. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, they kind of made that video a little weird pun for ending up in the wrong place, and I like that sentiment. I think that that's fun. I think it's cool that they played on that for the video. Very, very classic right here. This is a very classic song, and I appreciate it. I appreciate songs like this. This is really awesome. So, Kevin, thank you. I was not anticipating this music video to be what it was, but I love the lyrics of the song. I really appreciate the openness of it in a subliminal manner. It's very well done. It's very well crafted, and he didn't use a lot of words to say it either. And I like that about it. I really like that. This is a good song. One of my favorites that we've done by them, actually, lyric wise, especially. Michael was a fantastic lyricist, man. Could always get that message across the way he wanted to. The original video for this will be in the description. Subscribe to Inxs, support the artists we have on the channel. That's what we do this for, get the music out into the world, relate it to our own lives. I hope that you guys can get something out of these videos whenever it comes to mental health and everything like that. I hope I've been able to help you guys to want to better yourselves through my own stories and just talking to you guys about these lyrics and everything. That's what it's all about on here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We gonna get out of here. I'm Vakasa Kavi. A reaction video a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck those apples. Leave a like for me, comment those suggestions, subscribe up this way, bang the notification bell for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Have a blessed night. Peace.